Bamenda inhabitants welcomed the World Bank's announcement of the tarring of urban crossing in the town with lots of joy and enthusiasm after they have been suffering from the lack of roads and other amenities for too long. Also, it is now a done deal as the national identity card will be produced in Cameroon within the period of time of 48 hours. This following the laying of the foundation stone to host the fabrication center in the Ituri neighborhood of Yaoundé by the police boss Martin Branga Gele. Plus, refugees in Cameroon and the world over today are celebrating the World Refugees Day with emphasis laid on the dignified nature of living conditions of refugees in the country and around the world. Those were our headlines. You are welcome to High Prime of Thursday, the 20th of June 2024. For presentation, I am attending Larry Kevin Tabot. We start off with this news item all the way from the legislative arm of government, where political observers and opposition in the country are castigating doubts and worries following the non-public of the electoral calendar by the President of the Republic, Paul Biya. They see this move as a way for President Paul Biya to prolong the mandate of the municipal and legislative members in office for quite some time now, as the electoral calendar has not been published. More with our reporter on that.
All eyes are now looking towards the lower and upper houses of the legislature as the mandate of parliamentarians and municipal councillors will be expiring next February 2025. Speculations are therefore envisaged of a possible mandate extension by President Paul Biya. With this reality on ground, members of both the municipal and legislative are staying away from the discussion of such thematic area as the June session of Parliament still on. In line with these, speculations are that President Paul Biya, in his usual magnanimity, might decide to give a pat on the back by extending the mandate of the said persons as one of the legal minds expatiates.
It's a constitutional right, first of all, for the head of state, the President of the Republic, to decide to prolong or to even reduce the mandate of the members of the National Assembly. It is embedded in the Constitution. I think it should be section 15 or so. He has a right for reasons that are best known to him, because it is at his discretion. Equally, the law on decentralization provides that the President of the Republic can shorten or lengthen the mandates of municipal council.
The multi-talk mandate extension to some political pundits who opines could be a wise engagement for the party in question to oust possible political opponents who can be a thorn in the flesh of the ruling CPDM party.
It is not possible that the electoral calendar should be left in the hands of a single person who can manipulate at his whims and caprices. There is only one person who holds the secret of the electoral calendar, and that one man is the President of the Republic.
The aforementioned points are furthermore disputed by other observers who sees the extension of mandate as something that is not new in the country, Cameroon. With diverse points of views held by the different political stakeholders in the country, many sees this mandate extension as something that is being manipulated, as they say is not up to the president to decide.
We move on to one of our major stories, as we did mention earlier, following the announcement of last Wednesday by the Ministry of Public Work, indicating that the executive directors of the World Bank has approved an additional 30 billion CFA francs for the tarring of the urban crossing in Bamenda. Inhabitants in that town of the Northwest region has welcomed this information with a lot of enthusiasm, as they say the coming of the tarring of the urban crossing in the town of Bamenda will go a long way to curb on insecurity and improve the livelihood of the people, as our reporter Aisha Mbung tells us more.
Cameroon's Ministry of Public Works announced on Wednesday, June 19, 2024 that the World Bank's Board of Executive Directors have approved additional financing of 30 billion CFA francs net of taxes for the rehabilitation of the Bamenda urban crossing. The project aims to improve a 6,538 kilometer section of the Bamenda-Babaju route, stretching from the Amumezam Junction to the Veterinary Junction. The project, which forms part of the broader Bamenda Babaju Road Rehabilitation Initiative, aims to alleviate traffic congestion in Bamenda, the key city in the region. It will also include the recruitment of a control mission to oversee the works. Additionally, the funding will support the complaints management mechanism and third-party monitoring, which involves the local population in decision-making. It is worth noting that construction is already underway on several sections of the road, with the Babaju-Matazem section 17 kilometers already completed. Meanwhile, work is ongoing on the Metazem Welcome to Bamenda 18 km, Welcome to Bamenda École des Champions 4.93 km, and École des Champions Amumezam 4.5 km sections, all expected to be finished in 2024.
Following the recent classification of seaports in the world, the best seaport in Cameroon, the Douala Port Authority, was classified among the list in the world. This classification has made maritime and economic analysts to cast a lot of doubt on the economic situation of attracting foreign investment into Cameroon, as they opine that many investors see this classification of the Douala Port Authority being among the last in the world as a means for them not to put their money where their head lies on, that is in Cameroon. We have greater perspective with our economic reporter.
The Douala Port Authority, which happens to be the best port in Cameroon, has been rated as one of the worst in the world according to a recent World Bank classification report, as the general manager of the Douala Container Terminal Management argues.
The very first preoccupation has to do with the waiting of a vessel in the surroundings of the port. A vessel will come and wait on the surroundings of the port for a few reasons. That can be personal reasons. The vessel will also stay there if all the custom formalities are not solved, and you cannot take those reasons or that time and put this as a charge to the port as the criteria is concerned.
His proposal to this effect is that comprehensive field studies could have resulted to more attainable, successful results for the Douala Port Authority.
Douala, per example, is a fluvial port. If the vessel arrives, let's say at 10 o'clock, and then the tide, the high tide, is at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, the vessel have to wait 12 hours because tide variance is every 12 hours. And this tide is not countable for the other port who are seaport.
To maritime specialists who cast doubt on the criticism of such classification reports, as they opine, Douala Port Authority has gone through tremendous improvement over the years, thus warranting her a better ranking.
This World Bank ranking does not valorize Cameroon's destination. Naturally, it might discourage importers and thereby limit activities and drop port revenue.
With this result, most economic analysts say it will go a long way to retard the negative impactation of doing business in Cameroon, as huge investors see this report as a negative impact of them coming to invest in the nation.
It is a done deal, as Cameroonians across the four corners of the nation will be having the national identity card ready within the period of time of 48 hours. This was the pronouncement from the police boss Martin Brangangele during the laying of the foundation stone of the first fabrication center in the neighborhood of Yaoundé, in the neighborhood of Etudi in Yaoundé, as this will be seen to other construction centers in the towns of Douala and Garoua respectively. By this, they will go all operational by the end of 2024. We have details with our lady or Tamfo Clothing.
Following the announcement by the Director General of National Security, Martin Bangangele, last year 2023, on the fabrication of national identity cards within 48 hours, the laying of the foundation stone of Ikpeone Center at the new administration center and revealing the national production plan.
Concretely, this would permit the fast production of identity card across the national territory, adding to the 3 major sites. Enrollment and identification centers will be in the 58 divisions of the country, the renovation of all existing centers, and the creation of identification units in councils that do not have the new system and in population.
A point where the Director General of National Security reiterates all stakeholders must play their roles. The same activity in the days ahead will be carried out in Douala and Garwa, 2 of the major sites by the technical partners Ajantic. Reassure the modernization of the operation from registration, production and deliverance for a duration of 2 days. It will be happily welcomed by all if it comes to realization.
From our viewers in Cameroon and around the world, you are watching High Prime, and we are coming to you live from our new studios here in High Television. We now talk one of our late stories. Today in Cameroon and the world over is being celebrated as World Refugees Day, a day set aside by the United Nations to look into the worries and plight of persons who are fleeing their countries from wars and other related conflict. As such, in Cameroon, the Cameroonian government that has been doing all it takes to make sure that refugees from neighboring Chad, Central African Republic and Nigeria have a safety in Cameroon is one that has caught the attention of Aisha Mbang as she tells us more.
June 20th of each year, the World Health Organization joins the UN High Commission for Refugees, the UN Refugee Agency, and partners in observing World Refugee Day. In line with this year 2024 themes, Solidarity with Refugees, WHO emphasizes the importance of building inclusive health systems and ensuring equitable care for refugees worldwide. In commemoration of this day, the WHO further highlights solidarity and health, celebrates refugees' resilience, advocates for their health rights, and strives to create a world where everyone, regardless of migratory status, enjoys universal access to quality health care. According to the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, it estimates that by mid-2023, over 110 million individuals worldwide were forcibly displaced, with 40% being children, while 75% of these displaced individuals are hosted in low and middle-income countries. Worthy of note is the fact that refugees are not merely recipients of care, but active contributors to health systems globally, serving as skilled health care professionals, cultural mediators, and advocates for equitable access. In the meantime, WHO's World Report on the Health of Refugees and Migrants highlights their impactful roles, emphasizing the importance of including refugees in decision-making processes, which enhances service quality and cultural competence. In a nutshell, as we celebrate their resilience and honor their contributions on this day, we recognize the challenges refugees face and the urgent need for global solidarity. Despite not inherently less healthy, millions in vulnerable situations experience poorer health outcomes due to substandard living and working conditions. So, prioritizing refugees' rights to timely, accessible, affordable, acceptable, and dignified health care is crucial for achieving health for all.
A non-profit organization based in the southwest region known as the Berin Bokwe Foundation has recently launched one of their offshoot projects in the village of Mator in Memed division of the southwest region, captioned as Maternal Health Empowerment Mator. The aim of this engagement is geared towards promoting accessibility to quality healthcare service, and this is done all free of charge, as Alice Lekelengwe report from Mator in Memed division.
Every day, approximately 830 women die from preventable causes related to pregnancy and childbirth. Cameroon's maternal mortality level is at 782 maternal deaths as per 100,000 live births in sub-Saharan Africa. Having this burden, Berin and Bokwe Foundation has this June 18 launched the project Maternal Health Empowerment in Mator, Cameroon.
The goal of this project is to provide and to promote accessible and high-quality maternal health care services to pregnant women in the Mator community. And this project is going to be carried out in different phases. First of all, we are going to establish a maternal health mobile hub, which we call it MHMH, that will be carrying emergency cases from this Mator health unit to reference hospital.
In promoting accessible and quality maternal health care in Mator community, the foundation made their visit to the Council of Elders who bought their vision. They also went to the health center to look at the condition under which delivery is conducted.
When you get belle, you get for do scanning to know whether the pikin they fine. I doubt whether they do am for you. They know they do am. Yes. You have to do echography. We are going to carry out also community sensitization on the importance of antenatal care.
Sensitizing the women and pregnant women in Mator, Berin and Bokwe Foundation saw how this project will be of great help to the community.
It's going to train nurses and it's going to help to encourage the women not to deliver at home.
According to the women in Mator, they have been going through some challenges.
Really, there's nothing that I can say more than be joyful as I am. We thank Berin Bokwe and the people whom she has brought here. The Mator community was too backwards. We never knew that this type of a thing can come inside us to motivate us.
Berin and Bokwe Foundation intends to distribute birth kits and necessary drugs to pregnant women, train and build capacity of 25 community health workers and unskilled bed attendants.
And we take you to the economic hub of Douala in Cameroon, where a gang of thieves who specializes in all sorts of criminality has been arrested by the forces of law and order as the defense forces call on the population in that part of Cameroon to be vigilant and mindful in the way they deal with one another, as this gang of thieves are quite recurrent and notorious for their acts of criminality in the city of Douala and other areas of Cameroon, as Aisha Mbeng reports.
A gang of approximately 20 young men armed with machetes and knives terrorized and turned bangles a quarter in Douala on June 17, 2024. Witnesses reported the masked attackers vandalized shops, looted money and injured over 10 people. According to Tomatake, a resident, the attackers came from all sides, destroyed shops, assaulted people, stabbing anyone who resisted. Valentine, a bar owner, recounts how the attackers stole money from his drawer and stabbed others who fought back. Thankfully, no deaths were recorded. Nevertheless, authorities are investigating the incident, while some suspected the gang might be the Microbes, a notorious Douala criminal group, but witnesses identified them as residents of the neighboring Bidi quarter. Thomas, another witness, claims the attack was a revenge for the beating of 3 Bidi youths caught smoking cannabis in Bangos a week prior. The police and the gendarmeries are gathering information and searching for suspects at the scene.
And we remain in the economic city of Douala, where beer sellers are now complaining that certain brands of beer products in Douala are quite rare to have them, and as such, this is causing their businesses to have a slowdown as their customers are unable to have their choice of beer that they want. But to what does this extent of beer scarcity and certain brands of beer in the city of Douala who have on the local man? We have details with you, Cynthia Latte.
Beer scarcity in most neighborhoods in Douala is fast becoming a veritable nightmare for sellers and customers in the nation's economic city. They are increasing the prices of beer because there may be beer scarcity here, but elsewhere there is manyang. For instance, I will have to use like 3,000 francs as transport fare to buy only the manyang, to come back here and sell it for how much? Customers of beer are in total disagreement as they cannot have access to one of their cherished items. In Cameroon now at Drink Before Light, the stock is not enough. You start with a brand, you cannot drink 2 bottles thereafter because the stock is finished. The situation is regrettable. When we have water, there is no beer. When we have beer, there is no water. When there is electricity, there is no water. We don't have anything in this Cameroon. To some beer syndicates, this scarcity is attributed to the shortage of beer premium ingredients that comes from Ukraine, now in war with Russia. Since 2020, there has been COVID-19. You know that beer's raw materials comes from Ukraine, notably wheat and others. This means in some areas we can have beer today and in others we don't find it. As a solution to this problem, some syndicates are proposing the increase in the price of beer in order for it to be made available for all, except to address the situation, a meeting has been announced between the different stakeholders and the Minister of Trade, Luc Magwabaga Tangana, next 16th May.
And with that scarcity of certain brands of beer products in the town of Douala, this is what concludes tonight's news package. High Prime of Thursday, 20th of June, 2024. Thanks for watching and good night from our news studios. We all call on you to catch Uncle This Man in the news in the Pidgin language at exactly 9 p.m. GMT+1 Cameroon time. For me and the entire crew, it's a blessed night in the company of High Television.